happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me. Hi, everyone. I am really happy that, hold on, now I want to put it on gallery because it jumped off and I want to see all your faces. Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm so happy that all your videos are on. This is my 8th Zoom of the day today. By the way, for me, it's 10 o'clock at night on my time zone. My 8th Zoom of the day, and probably my 40th of the week. So happy it's almost Shabbos. And I love when I come on and all the faces are here. Sometimes I come onto a Zoom and I am looking at a black screen, like those black chocolate bars. That's what it looks like, just those black, like a chocolate bar, okay? I love to see your faces. It's so good that you're all here with me. And you know, it's funny because you know how like, what they tell you, know, when you speak to a crowd, anyone who does public speaking, they tell you like, if you're nervous, you have to picture the crowd, picture the audience sitting in their underwear, you know? It's not so hard to imagine that now because I know you're all literally sitting in your underwear right now. This is what I love about Zoom. It's amazing. I honestly don't think I'm ever gonna wear shoes again, ever. You know what else? What I'm gonna miss about Zoom when this is all over, I am really gonna miss not being able to mute people whenever I want to. Could you imagine? Like, I can mute all of you. I have this power over all of you right now. And if someone in real life is talking and I just want that, mute. Anyway, we are here to talk about Shabbos or Shabbat, whatever your pronunciation is. And I want to talk a little bit about, we'll try to get into a deeper meaning of it. We'll talk whatever we can. They're only giving me 20 minutes here. I'm going to try to do this as fast as I can. But I want to ask you, why do we start off Shabbat with lighting candles? Why are we lighting candles to welcome Shabbat in? Why isn't there another custom? Like, hi, welcome Shabbat. You all have to eat a pie of pizza. I think that'll be so much more appealing to people, no? You have to eat a pizza every week to welcome Shabbat in. Why? What's so special about the candles? And here's the thing. I came to this realization a few years ago when something weird came over me. I don't know, it was like this moment of empowerment or I don't know, too much confidence. And I decided I was gonna run the marathon. And I was gonna do it. I was gonna practice. So I reached into the closet, got my sneakers, blew off the dust, you know, put them on, and I decided to start training. And I ran 3 miles from home. And by ran, I mean walked. I get there and I'm 3 miles away from my house. First time I am not an athlete. I don't identify as an athlete by any stretch of the imagination. And I'm 3 miles away from my house and suddenly my shoelace snaps in half. And it was the weirdest thing. Like I was trying to walk, I couldn't walk. I had to pull the knots this way, that way, the strings up, down, everywhere. It wasn't moving, nothing was happening. I tried walking without the shoes. I got all the rocks in my feet. And I hopped into an Uber and I went back home. I did not run the marathon. Okay, spoiler alert. So what happened at that moment? I had this realization. There was something that I had never noticed until then, and that was the importance of shoelaces. Like I had never been thankful for shoelaces before, even though I wore them every day and they would help me walk. And when's the last time we sat down and appreciated our shoelaces? And that is when I realized why we light the candles on Shabbat. What is the idea of lighting candles? When we light that candle and we are, you know, we're lighting this light in the dark, we are able to notice things that we've never noticed before. All of a sudden, it brings light to the room around us. Now, were those things there in the room before the light turned on? They were. They were all there. But we never noticed them until we turned on the light. And the idea of Shabbat is that Shabbat is about creating a relationship with Hashem. That's what it's all about. It's about building a relationship with Him. And the very first thing we do in a relationship is we look for the good, and we have gratitude, and we are grateful and thankful and appreciate the goodness. And that is what we're doing when we light those candles. The very first thing is we see, oh my gosh, look at all the blessings I have around me. I just never noticed them before. They were always here, but maybe I just didn't pay enough attention to them. You know why? Because the things that are closest to us and the people that are closest to us are the things we take for granted. Shoelaces, like we just take them for granted because we use them every day. So the things that are closest to us, the people that are closest to us, our family, sometimes we take them for granted. We don't really notice the blessings we have. We're so busy noticing the negative because they're getting on our nerves and it's frustrating, and especially now, surrounded by all the people we're surrounded with. We don't always notice the things that really, really are important to us in our lives. And when we think about Shabbos or Shabbat, you know, sometimes it can get a little bit mundane, right? Shabbat, we have all the preparations and we do this and we do that, and then Shabbat comes and it's just kind of like, again, like we just did this last week. And I think we sometimes can feel a little bored. We can feel a little mundane, a little, it's not exciting. And I think that if we had Shabbat only once a year, do you know how much we would love it? The fact that it comes every week makes it really difficult sometimes, right? Because we just did this and now we got to do it again. It loses the excitement. And sometimes when Shabbat comes, we just spend the whole time in like this, I don't know, like this Shabbos coma. We kind of sleep our way and eat our way through it. You know, somebody asked me once, how many meals do we have on Shabbat? I said, one. We start eating Friday night and we just eat Shabbat's over. It's just one long meal, right? Sometimes this is how we experience Shabbat. And then we wonder, like, why don't I enjoy it? Why do I find myself every Shabbat afternoon looking at my watch, counting down, when is it over? And God forbid to keep one extra minute of Shabbat, right? It gets difficult sometimes. And we wonder, and we know deep down, by the way, many of us know that there has to be something more to it. So, but why don't we feel it? There has to be something more. What am I missing? It's almost like, have you ever been to a wedding where you're watching everybody dance and you're trying to get into the circle, but you just can't get into that circle, and everyone's dancing and you're like, oh, I want to get in, I want to get in, I want to get in. We feel like that about Shabbat sometimes. Like, I want to get into the beauty, to the goodness, to the amazingness of Shabbat, but I'm just standing there watching everybody else dance in the circle. But why can't I get in? How can I make it more meaningful? So here's the thing. Life becomes boring when it is just the same old, same old. It becomes boring when everything we do just happens again and again and again. When we reach the same place in life and we just do the same things. Every year on your, you have another birthday. Right? Another birthday, another holiday. Where am I? Am I in the same place on this birthday as I was on last birthday? Right? You see, when we live our life in a circle and it just keeps circulating round and round and round, it gets really boring really fast. And this is when life gets very depressing. And we find ourselves falling into this rut and not enjoying the things we're doing. When we go back around to the same place that we've been in, we're not supposed to be in a circle. We're supposed to be going in a spiral. And yeah, we get back to the same place again, but this time we're a little bit elevated and a little bit elevated and a little bit elevated. Each time we're there, it has to go further and further up. So I want to talk a little bit about how we could infuse a little bit more meaning into Shabbat. That every week when it comes again, it's not the same as it was the week before. It has to be a different Shabbat every week so that we could enjoy it again every time it comes. You see, you all know the famous song, Lecha Dodi. We sing it every week, right? And in that song, we are singing Boi Kala. Any Hebrew speakers in the house? Boi Kala. Right? So you know what this means? We are welcoming, what's a kala? A bride. I see your lip moving. It's a bride. A kala is a bride. And we're saying, welcome this bride. The question is, why do we compare Shabbat to a bride? Why are we singing this? Boi kala, Shabbat malkata. So the thing is, according to Kabbalah, okay, we can get a little deep for a minute. It's still early by you. We're good. According to Kabbalah, are two entities in this world. And everything that connects, that is able to have a relationship, they fall into one of these two categories. And those are Zachar and Nekeva, the masculine and the feminine. These are the two entities. Anything that is outwardly dominant is considered Zachar, is considered masculine. Anything that is inwardly predominant is considered Nekeva. That is the feminine entity, the feminine energy, right? The physical world is masculine because the physical world is outwardly predominant, right? For example, the pull of hunger is strong. The pull of prayer is weak, right? The pull from the physical world is a predominant and is a predominant force, and therefore it's masculine. The spiritual energy is an internal energy, and that is the kala, that is the nekeva, that's the feminine. And we know this because we know that we speak physical much more fluently than we speak spiritual, because we live in a physical world. Even though we're spiritual beings, which we are, by the way, we live in a physical world. So we speak body much more fluently than we speak soul. I once asked a large room full of high school girls. I said to them, this was in context of what we were talking about, and I said to them, what is your greatest pleasure in life? Your absolute greatest pleasure in life? Okay, it was unanimous. The entire room said at the same time, sleep. Okay, this was a bunch of teenage girls, sleep. I said, really, sleep? I said, let's say you are, I don't know, on a day off from school. What are you going to do on one day off from school? They all said, sleep. I said, what about vacation? You go away on a vacation, a few days, you know, what are you going to do? Sleep. I said, what? So then I said to them, so again, this was in context of our topic, okay? So don't get scared. I said to them, so then what's the point of even being alive? Like, why are you not just dead and you can like sleep forever? Like, why are you even alive? And you know what they said to me? They said, you don't understand. Because then we can't experience the pleasure of waking up, go back to sleep again. Obviously, sleep is a pleasure, a real pleasure for some people. So, but we understand the physical pleasures we get when we're hungry, when we're tired. These are a strong physical force. This is the masculine energy in the world, the masculine entity, the physical, the material. We said it's called Zachar. The spiritual, the more feminine is called Nekeva. Let's talk about Shabbos, Shabbat. Shabbat is the day that we unite the physical with the spiritual. It's the day that we are creating this unity between the male and the female, between the chatan and the kala, the bride and the groom, right? Between the physical and the spiritual. So here's what we need to understand. The 6 days of the week, right? Sunday through Friday, those are the physical days. When Shabbat comes, we're saying, Boi Kala Shabbat. Come on, the physical is here. It's like the groom is standing under the chuppah, and he's welcoming his bride to come in, and he's going to infuse. Now the physical feels this need to be infused with the spiritual. And that's what's happening. It's like, bride, come to me. Come infuse me with your beauty. Come infuse me with your holiness, with your spirituality. And that's what we're doing. And that's how, when we're welcoming in Shabbat, that's what we're doing. And here's the thing. Every week, there is a new infusion of spirituality. Every week, it's something new. She's entering into this relationship with the groom, which is the physical world, and that's what we're celebrating on Shabbat. So Shabbat, now here's the thing, okay, listen closely, because we know that Shabbat is the holiest day of the week. It's the holiest day of the week. And yet, what are we doing? Right after we welcome in Shabbat, we light the candles, we're focused on the blessings in our lives, we're focused on the goodness, on the things around us. Then we welcome in the spiritual, right? The bride. And then how do we start Shabbat? We start Shabbat with a cup of wine. Can it get any more physical than that? Can it get any more mundane? Wine is like the least holy. Literally every single mistake you ever made in life started with a cup of wine, okay? So how are we starting off the holiest day of the week with wine? But not only that, gets better, okay? On Shabbat, we wear our nicest clothing, right? We get dressed up much more than usual. It's another emphasis on the physical. We eat the best food. How many times do you have 3 courses on a regular Wednesday, right? On Shabbat, we eat better food, we eat more food. Again, it's all about the physical. We take a nap. Some people take a nap on Shabbat. When do you take a nap on a regular Tuesday? Pre-quarantine, right? What's happening here? Shabbat, the holiest day of the week, it is filled with mundane, it is filled with physical, it is filled with material. You see, this is what we need to understand. And this is what our mission is in life. This is why we're in this world. The goal is to take the physical and to infuse it with the spiritual. And we elevate the physical by infusing it with the spiritual. We're not supposed to be denying the material world. We're not supposed to deny the physical pleasures that there is in the world. Hashem made it just for us, by the way. It's all for us. We don't have to have such a glorious world full of color and beauty and taste. That's all physical, it's material. Hashem could have made the world black and white, the way it used to be in the 1950s. I used to always think that. I used to watch these movies from the 50s and I'd be like, wow, at what point did we get light in the world, But if the world could have stayed black and white. Food doesn't have to have any taste. Literally, for us to survive, all we need is a stalk of wheat and a glass of water. That's all we need. But no, we have delicious, amazing food, right? Because we're supposed to be embracing the physical. Fashion, beautiful things. We're supposed to be dressing beautifully. It's all here for us, but there's only one way that we can enjoy it. We cannot enjoy the physical and material if the bottom line is just for the physical and material. If that's the goal, we're not going to really enjoy it. We could only enjoy it when we infuse it with spirituality. And this is what Shabbat brings into the world. We can just have a regular day, right? One day after the next. But there's no way to enjoy life if it's not infused with the spirituality. That's what Shabbat does for us. And this is why, again, for everyone who appreciates Kabbalah and all the esoteric goodness of the world, this is why the number associated with Shabbat is 7, right? Every number, okay, delete that sentence again. Every single number in life has a spiritual component to it, okay? 7 in Kabbalah is completion. It's completion of the physical world infused with the spiritual world. That is 7, and that's why Shabbat is about the number 7. It's the 7th day of the week. That's what 7 stands for. It's this completion of the physical with the spiritual, which is what completion is, because without the 7th, it's incomplete if it's only the physical, right? So I want to end with something really powerful, really cool. I think you're all going to love this, okay? But before we get there, I just want to explain that our job in life is to, and this is what we're learning from Shabbat, is to take everything that's in the physical world and elevate it into something holier. This is why we say a bracha before we eat something. We say a blessing because it's a regular food. It's mundane. It's ordinary, but we elevate it by saying a bracha. Okay, and this is with anything. We can insert any personal, individual examples over here. And by the way, the challah that we eat on Shabbat and that we make for Shabbat, what is the root of the word challah? The root of the word is chol. Does the word sound familiar to you? Chol hamoed, you've heard that word, right? Or when we say Havdalah, hamavdil ben kodesh lechol, we're making a separation between the holy and the mundane. That's what chol means. Chol means mundane. And when we make challah, or we eat challah, the idea of challah is that we are taking something that's mundane, flour. It is the most basic element of life, flour. And we're mixing it with water. Water is the only physical element that actually comes from heaven. Everything else comes from earth. So the water is spiritual. We're taking the physical, infusing it with the spiritual, and then we let it rise. And that's our job. Our job here is to elevate the physical, to take the world, to take life, and to make it holy, to not just keep it ordinary, but to make it extraordinary. And that's why the challah starts with chol, which is ordinary, and then we add the hay at the end. The hay is Hashem, the spirituality. We're turning it into something bigger. We're rising it, we're elevating it. Now I'm going to share with you something really, really cool, super cool about the number 7 and Shabbat. Ready for this? All right. We have a few mitzvot on Shabbat. These are mitzvot that we all know of. All right. What are the mitzvot that we have on Shabbat? The first one is ner, which means a candle. That's the candles that we light, right? Ner. Then we have the wine, which in Hebrew is yayin. Now I'm going to tell you why I'm listing all these things, okay? This is so cool. I'm very excited about this. So ner, are you into gematria? You know what a gematria is? Gematria is the numerical value. That's, as I told you, that different numbers have significant concepts that they correspond with, but there's also letters and numbers that correspond with each other. We have the Hebrew letters. Aleph is 1, Bet is 2, Gimel is 3, all the way till the end, we get to Taf, which is 400, all right? So let's do some gematria, all right? Any math lovers in the house over here? All right, so you can, I see a few heads perk up, a few videos turned back on. Hi, I see you. All right, great. So let's figure out, now I want to tell you something about gematria. Sometimes the gematria is very clear cut. It's straight out, just the 2-3 letters that you add together is that gematria, but there's something else in Hebrew that's called a gematria katana, which is a gematria, the smaller gematria, which means when you add the summary, when you add the summation of the letters of the result until you get down to one single number, all right? So we're gonna be experiencing that right now. So the first mitzvah of Shabbat is the mitzvah of candles, which is ner. What is nun in gematria? Nun is 50, resh is 200. What? Okay, you can unmute yourselves. Anyone who's at math, unmute yourself and help me out with this. We got the 50, we got the 200. What is that? 250. Very good. Oh, I see you writing it in the chat. Excellent. That's 250. Now let's take wine, which is yayin. We got the yud, which is 10. We got the yud, which is 10. We got the nun, which is 50. So we got the 10. I'm sorry. Yeah, we got the 10, we got the 10, we got the nun, 10, 10, and 50 is 70. There you go. Now, here's one thing. Let's go back to ner for a minute. I got so excited to go to yayin, I forgot to finish the gematria. Let's go back to ner for a minute. We got the 50 and the 200, that's 250. Also, because math makes me nervous. All right, we got the 50 and the 200, 250. What's 2 plus 5 plus 0? We got our 7. Let's go to yayin. We said it's the 50, the 10 plus the 10 equals 70. 7 and 0. We got our 7. Let's go to dog, fish. Next mitzvah of Shabbat, we got the fish. Dog, Dalet is 4, Gimel is 3. What do we get? We got the 7. Let's go to the next mitzvah of Shabbat, which is basar, meat. All right? Spoiler alert, it's going to be 7. Let's see how we get there. The bet we got is 2. We have sin, which is 300. We got resh, which is 200. What do we get? 200 plus 300 plus 2, 502. 5 plus 2, we got our 7. And there's another important mitzvah of Shabbat. And that mitzvah is ta'anug, which means to rest. Ta'anug. We have, this is a long one. Taf, ayin, resh, yud, nun, yud, gimel. Trust me, guys, it's 7. Okay? We add it all up. The grand sum is 529. We got our 7. How cool is this? How amazing is this? And by the way, any of you eat talent on Shabbat? Yeah. No, I don't know the Gemachi of talent. I don't even know how to spell talent. But there are 7 main ingredients in talent. I think, right? There's, what do we got? We got the onions. We got, the main ones, let's do first. The onions and potatoes and the beans and the barley and the meat. And what are we missing? Other than the seasoning, the garlic, egg. Someone wrote egg. We got the egg. We have 7 ingredients in chalent. I wish you all a beautiful Shabbat. It should be uplifting for you. It should be able to infuse your week and your life with goodness, with spirituality, with love, with happiness. And I wish that every single Shabbat, you're able to infuse it with new spirituality so that it's not just the same old, same old. Every week, it could come back, not as a circle, but as a spiral. Shabbat Shalom to all of you. It was really a pleasure to meet you and to spend this evening with you.